I now declare this event open, officially open, and we're ready for action. Now, we were meant to have a little presentation from Rajiv, but in the interests of time and to keep on schedule, we might come back to that a little later. But what we really are here for, and Ashutosh absolutely took the words out of my mouth, it's to really interact, to engage with each other, to collaborate, and ultimately, at the end of the day, improve the customer experience for every single person here in India and ultimately around the world, because so many of you obviously work on an international stage. Many of you actually do most of your business with countries outside of India as well. But the focus today is India. And when we are talking about the topics, clearly with the speakers having a distinctly Indian look and feel, the majority across the panels, it is India we're talking about today. 1.4 billion people out of 8 billion people. That's a good chunk of the world, about 18%. So, without further ado, business messaging, it's about growth. And many of you will have seen great growth in your businesses the past year, but that growth has got to be sustainable. You've got to be protecting the consumers, the enterprises, and every single person in that value, every single person and organization in that value chain. So anti-fraud is supremely important. The landscape, though, is getting exceedingly difficult. Business messaging is growing. Business messaging volumes, the amount of money in the industry is growing, and that attracts and has attracted a new breed of fraudster. Very, very, very sophisticated cyber criminals have moved into the space, so the job of protecting the ecosystem is getting harder. And our first panel will look at this area in depth, and I'd like to call back to the stage Pallavi. And Pallavi, this is your show. Take it away. So everyone, please welcome Pallavi.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to call all my panelists on the stage, Shikha, Nayan, Shalini, Kunal, Himanshu, and Alexei. Welcome to the panel, and I have already introduced myself, so I would request you all to introduce yourself. So maybe, Shalini, you can start. That's it.
Hi, I'm Shalini, and I am a part of the SMS industry. I've been in the SMS industry for 5 years now, and I work with PCCW Globe, mostly into SMS solutions.
Hello. Yeah, my name is Shikha. I'm from Airtel, Vice President of Roaming and Mobile Solutions. Been with Airtel for 20 years. 25 years, small experience. So happy to be in the panel. Thanks for inviting me here.
Hello everyone, I'm Kunal. I'm the Assistant General Manager at Tech Labs, and I take care of the anti-fraud and firewall deployments across various telcos and trying to save the network as much as possible from any kind of frauds. Happy to be here.
Hi everyone, good morning, very warm welcome to Mumbai. I'm Nayan Paranjpe, part of Telin since last 1 year, but overall 15 plus years of experience in the telecom industry. And I'm VP of Digital Marketplace Enabler at Telin. I take care of New Traffic's platform. It is a global connectivity exchange for voice, SMS, and virtual numbers. And happy to be here. Thanks to GTS and MEF for having us here.
Hello, My name is Alexei. I'm the managing director of Lang Telecom, a voice carrier, SMS aggregator, and SC-Pass player.
Hello, save the best for last. I am Himanshu, the tallest guy in Indian telecom industry. So been around for 15 plus years, started my career with voice, moved on to data, now managing mobile as well as security portfolio in Orange for the last 6 years. Looking forward to the rest of the day.
Thank you everyone for the lovely introduction. Maybe we can begin with the panel now, and because people out there are eager to listen from us and what are the insights from this market, right? So, as I said, the panel discussion is about messaging security and anti-fraud. So here's the first question I would like to throw to the panelists is like, how trusted today are the various messaging channels? So maybe I think, Alex, if you would like to add something to this.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking about the business messaging, it's been going through the challenges during the last years, since there's been always the most, I would say, which is still one of the most reliable and convenient way of business messaging, which is SMS. But though there are a few factors such as fraud and the general market pricing increase, there's two main factors that actually forced the brands and the enterprises to look for the alternatives ways of authentication and actually communication with consumers. And this has been really developing a lot during the last years, and there are various communication channels. Some of them are traditional ones, some of them are new ones. The main ones, I would say, are still email, and which is still there. SMS.
Correct. Traditional A2P is also the main one, right?
Yeah. Traditional A2P SMS is still there, though there are the challenges that we'll probably discuss later on.
Correct.
As well, more and more brands are trying to move communication into the apps, like all kind of pushes and the OTPs, of course, is getting bigger and bigger. And the new ones, like the RCS, is there. They're probably not at the level a lot of people were expecting it to be, but it's going on. There is still a lot of focus for the RCS on the market. Voice is growing up, though as well there are challenges and there are difficulties and there are certain resistance and understandable resistance from the mobile operators. But I would say the brands are quite insistent on finding alternatives which would be more protected and more efficient cost-wise. This is the situation that is going on.
Yeah, so the new one, I'll say like RCS, in-app messages, these are the various channels which are coming up, like already there in the market.
Yeah, absolutely. Then the emails are still there. Let's not forget about that. And it is actually the, I'll say the share is surprisingly growing.
Correct. So with this, like there are many threats coming in, right? So maybe the next one is like, what are the key threats destabilizing the market and how do we combat them? So being from the operator background, Shikha, it would be good to hear from you.
Yeah. So I would not call it a threat per se. What is happening, there are different messaging channels, SMS being the most prevalently used. But the larger problem which we are seeing is that lack of trust, which is creeping in because traditionally the communication channel, whether it be SMS or the new channels like WhatsApp, Viber, any OTT messaging, the objective of it was for an enterprise to reach the end consumer. But it's not possible. The best way to, on the safest way is to, if they're directly reaching out through say a telecom channel, if it's SMS, or through the OTT directly. But looking at the number of countries and the number of operators, it's not possible for an enterprise to reach out directly. So they use third parties. So the problem arises when we have more third parties, and the challenge is the trust factor right now, because I break it into two parts. One is the consumer who's actually the recipient of the message, and the enterprise who's actually sending the message to its user. So as a user, all of us are consumers, right? So we receive messages, but we want to receive messages which we opted in for. So looking at that situation, if I'm receiving messages which I never asked for, I'm giving my
You should give the
number,
consent.
giving my number to the brand which I trust.
Correct.
But I get messages from a lot of others which are not required by me.
Required or-
Why would my message, why is my number even available with them is the first question. So that's one thing. So this is being used for first of all spam, then you have phishing messages, then you have a lot of fraud which is happening. People are being duped to reveal their
Financial
personal
frauds and
identity.
everything.
They're being sending links to create, a situation where their money is taken out from the
Financial
banks.
frauds.
Yeah, financial frauds. Safety is an issue. I mean, if you look at women, you get any, so